Ew!
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 Welcome to Ew. I'm so glad to be back. I know that it's been a minute, but we're back. And it's been a minute. I'm super excited to be doing a podcast. I want to first say that Grace is still my friend, and she's going to be an avid listener. And her license plate still starts with ew because she's our biggest supporter. No, our school schedules have changed. I'm working in a different building than her this upcoming school year, and she had to move a little further away, so it's just been hard to find the time to meet and to do podcasts together. So I know that at some point she will be back and we will do our thing, but for now you're going to just get to hear the voice of me. So lucky you. But I wanted to kind of go over my summer adventures and some of the things that I think are pretty ew, and see what you guys think. Also some funny things, some good things, some funny things, some upsetting things. It's been months since we've been able to kind of update you guys, so let's get to it. My dogs are in the room with me here, and they're doing a lot of licking and breathing, to survive, but also they breathe loud, so that could be a thing on our ew list. I apologize that you have to hear their breathing and licking noises. That truly is like a pet peeve of mine. Polly takes a dog allergy medicine actually so that she won't lick her paws, and she's sitting here obsessively licking them anyway. Okay, I want to start off with a funny story. This was the beginning of my summer. I was in Michigan for my beautiful cousin Melissa's wedding, and it was stunning. She is an angel. Her wedding was in Upper Michigan, near the Traverse City area, where her and her now husband own a golf course, and they just did everything the cutest way possible. It truly was such a fun wedding, and some of their things were just unique in the best way. Like, they had a band, and it was not your typical wedding band. They had like a fun vibe of like jazz, blues. It was very cool. So when the band was over, around 10:30ish, there's a strict noise ordinance on their golf course. So one of the things that they did was they got everyone headphones, and they did a silent disco to keep the party going. And I thought that was so creative and fun. And it was funny because like people like my dad, who are old and boring, don't want to hear dance music. And so he was happy that he didn't have to listen to the music late at night, because he's one that loves a live band, likes to stay late at parties, but does not like the end of wedding night music that often comes on. So he was happy to be able to just turn that off. So I thought that was pretty cool. But something that I learned that Melissa did for her wedding was pretty hilarious. So the weather was expected to potentially be a rainy day, and she was counting on everything being outdoors. So with that in mind, she said she went on Etsy and she paid an Etsy witch to give her good weather for her wedding day. And the witch told her that she needed to bury a hot dog on her golf course, and that this would ensure that she had good weather for her day. So she did this. She said she did bury a hot dog on the golf course, and she was cracking me up because she kept thanking the Etsy witch for the beautiful weather that they had on their day. Anyway, I love that this is what she believed worked. and it truly was like a beautiful, magical day. It also gave me a new job idea. Like, should I become an Etsy witch and tell people ridiculous things? Because think about it, like, half the time you might be right, you know? Like, you could tell people to bury a hot dog in the lawn or come up with some other ridiculous thing, and then 50% of the time you might luck out, right? So you could get really good reviews, especially if it's about weather. Like, there's a good chance it won't rain on a day when someone doesn't want it to. Or, maybe somebody's like, I need someone to like me back. Okay, like maybe they will, right? So you could tell them to bury a hot dog in the lawn and then give the person a call or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what people are asking the Etsy witches. I might need to research this more, but I feel like this could have been a really good summer side gig for me, and it does now, the more I'm thinking about it, feel like a missed opportunity. Because you guys, people are just making accounts and claiming to be witches. I did do a little more research on this, and actually, after this wedding and after I was talking about this, what started popping up on my social media was animal communicators. There are people that claim to communicate with animals, and you can send in pictures of your dogs, your cats, your pets, and they will give you like insight into what your animal is thinking and feeling. And again, most likely this is nonsensical, right? But it does sound highly entertaining. So there is a good part of me. You can also pay to like meet, like Zoom call with your pets and this person, and they will do like a full reading while communicating with your dogs. Or there's like the send in some pictures and get, a letter back. So I'm considering doing this for a future pod and reading to you guys, what's going on with my animals. My dog Bear, we adopted when he was 2. He's 9 now, and he definitely had some kind of trauma because he does not like strangers, especially in our house, and he's bitten a few people, which is really, really, really awful. He's a really, really good dog to our family, though. Like, he loves us. He's just been through something. I don't know what that something is, but I would love to know. And I don't believe that the Etsy animal communicators would actually know, but I think it could be highly entertaining to get some kind of backstory. So I am considering doing this. Has anyone else paid an Etsy witch for something? If so, please send me a message. I would love to hear what you've paid for and if it worked out for you. So that was something that I think is actually great. The ooh part of that was that she buried a hot dog on the field, but I'm really happy that worked out for her, and it just kind of, one of those like superstitions, I guess, if you believe in that. I think that's very interesting. Okay, on a less funny note, I guess it's funny. It's sad and funny. On the 4th of July, we were about to head out to my aunt's 4th of July party. I was getting my dogs all cozied up. My dog Bear hates fireworks. By the way, I want to put a pin in this for a minute. I want to talk about fireworks. Okay, I've got a lot of opinions on fireworks, and they're pretty intense opinions, I guess. I think fireworks are okay on the 4th of July. I think professionals doing fireworks is great. Like, go and see the show. I think you in your backyard doing fireworks for the whole week around the 4th of July or the whole summer is really, really annoying, and it's gross. And what I picture people who do this to look like is a hillbilly. Like, I would love to see research on people who do fireworks all the time and their intelligence level. I think about my dogs and how upset Bear gets when there's fireworks. He shakes and he hides, and he's 110 pounds, and he tries to get under a table or somewhere to feel safe. And he freezes then, and he won't move for the rest of the night, and he's so distraught, and it's upsetting. So this is fine one day of the year, like the 4th of July, we can get past this. But when people are doing fireworks at all hours of the night for like the next week and a half or two in their own backyards, it's stupid. And most of it you can't even see. It's just loud noises, and that makes me question, what's wrong with you that you just want to hear a bunch of loud, obnoxious noises, and you have no regard for all the animals and even the people, right? Because like people have PTSD and whatnot, and all these loud, ridiculous noises, and that's fun to you. I question that. I find it very weird. So that's my ew fireworks. Um, anyway, I was getting ready to go to my aunt's house on the 4th of July, and I gave Bear his medicine, his sedative, and I read online that reggae music is comforting. So we got Bear drugged up, we put the TV on with the reggae music, he was ready to vibe, and all of a sudden the power goes out. The rain is coming down outside, and I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding? The power's out. I don't want to leave the dogs here now in the dark for the fireworks to be going off, or maybe not because of the rain, but I still just felt bad. So I called my mom and I was like, hey, like, we're going to wait this out a little bit. We'll come to the party later. Okay, well, less than a half hour goes by, and the rain is so intense. The street is starting to gather water and it's flooding. So I hear this beeping noise coming from our basement area, and we rush down there, and the water is starting to come into the basement. And here's me like, okay, I'll take a blanket and we'll make like a barrier so it doesn't get into the living room area, because our house is like a tri-level house, so it's more like a half basement, just a family room and a bathroom, and then there's a crawl space, and in the crawl space is where our sump pump is. Well, the sump pump failed because the power was out, and of course our backup battery wasn't working, because why would it? Why would that be working, right? So we sat there in the dark and watched our house flood. We just watched everything get. It had happened so fast. We were in 4 to 5 inches of water in what felt like minutes. So we were trying to salvage things, and I mean, I took things I can carry, like the vacuum cleaner, out of the laundry room, and I don't even know, I just grabbed a few things, but we couldn't salvage our furniture. We couldn't carry that out in time. So, the carpet ruined, the furniture ruined, the flooring ruined, the drywall was damaged. So yeah, it was a giant mess, let alone like we couldn't remove the water because the sump pump wasn't working and the power was out. And ComEd was saying our power wasn't going to return until the next night at like 12 a.m. So like 24 hours later. And I was like, this has to be a sick joke. So we obviously didn't go to the party, even though maybe we should have, because we just sat there instead and did, some crying, and then watched, we played a board game with a flashlight while our house flooded. So that was the 4th of July, and then the next day we were blessed that our families came and helped us begin the cleanup process, but still the power was not on, so we ended up using a generator that my father-in-law brought over to get the sump pump working, pumping the water out. But again, we had to gut the entire basement. We had so much stuff in the crawl space that had to be moved out, and we learned the hard way that boxes are not the way to go. So our Christmas decor was, some of it was ruined, some of it was salvageable. Sadly, I had boxes of old photos and my yearbooks that got destroyed. And I don't know, I feel like I would have been like, ew, my yearbooks, who even cares? But then when they were destroyed, I was weirdly emotional about that. That was the only thing that made me cry in this whole situation, because you just can't get them back. And my mom's like, well, maybe we can order more. Or my sister told me I could have hers. And I'm like, no, I need the message that people wrote me. I need my yearbooks, so that, and it was sad because it was like middle school through high school and they're all just gone. And I don't know, I was weirdly emotional about that. So that was pretty upsetting. And it's been about a month and we're still under construction and trying to figure out, how to repair that. So that has been Hot Mess Express. These are the things that you don't know you're going to have to deal with when you become a homeowner. And then you learn thousands of dollars later, all the fun that continues to happen. Okay. My next thing that I wanted to talk about is how tall is too tall at a concert and concert etiquette. Okay, so I've been to lots of concerts this summer, and something that I was thinking about is that my husband is very tall, and there was a few times when we walked closer to stand by the stage, and I noticed that the people near us or behind us are annoyed because he's tall. So what is the etiquette, right? Like, if we're getting to the concert ahead of time before it starts and we have the right to like walk up and get a spot just like anyone else, but people are then annoyed if they're behind us, but like they could have moved up closer but chose not to. So do they have the right to be mad? I don't know. But I'm very aware of people and how they feel. I think I just am very observant of people's expressions and emotions and feelings, so I often notice when people are frustrated or irritated, and I can feel that energy. And so this is something that I've just noticed, that his height tends to make some people kind of mad. So would you be mad if someone was standing in front of you and they were taller than you, but also, again, like they could have moved forward and chose not to? I've also been thinking, I love to stand at a concert. If sitting is what everyone else is doing, I'm bothered. But also that's awkward. Like, so I feel like at Ed Sheeran this summer, there was a lot of times where people just wanted to sit. And I get it. Like, a lot of his songs are more chill and you could just vibe and listen to them. But I want to stand when I'm at a concert. And so then you have that awkwardness of like, if you're standing, now the person behind you has to stand because then they can't see. But shouldn't standing be the like basic, that's what everyone does? Like, if you want to sit, that's fine, but you should know that your view will be obstructed, right? I don't know. Let's send me a message and let me know if you agree or disagree with that. But that's my take, is that standing is allowed. And if you want to sit down, rest your feet, fine. But just know that you're not going to be able to see because the person in front of you has the right to stand. I don't think it should be expected like at a concert, because that's how you can like vibe with the music. And if you just want to listen, totally cool, but just know like you might not be able to see. So that's my take on concerts. Oh, and then also I do think like as far as the tall thing goes, it would be different if this was like the middle of a concert and he were cutting people off and like getting in front of their view that they like waited for. But I'm talking like before a show begins, like getting a spot that the people could have moved up for. We actually had a girl say something to us, and she was super rude at one concert at the Salt Shed this summer. And my thoughts were like, you could have taken this spot, but I don't argue with crazy people, so we just moved over. Okay, my last thing that I wanted to chit chat about is things nobody warns women about. So this one's kind of like a girl talk episode here, but welcome to womanhood. I got my first mammogram over the summer. Got all the fun doctor appointments in. That's what teachers do over the summer. They go to the doctor. Apparently, fun fact, if you have Ashkenazi Jewish lineage, you are more likely to develop cancer, and I am 25% Jewish, not religion, but heritage. So I do have that working against me. And then my mom did have breast cancer, so that's another factor. So they wanted to start my screenings early, which is good, right? Preventative is always good. You should get your checks, so I'm glad I did. But nobody like prepares you or tells you what to expect. You just like build an idea in your head of what you think this is going to be like. So I didn't really know what I was getting into, but they literally lift your chest up onto a plastic like table and then smash it flat like a pancake and and just squish ya, and hold you in that awkward position. And then the lady that works the machine comes and lifts your chest off of said machine. It's very weird. No one could prepare you for that. You just have to experience it for yourself. But I do think it's a weird appointment, and it's probably because you don't get it till you're nearly 40. And then when this does happen, you just weren't prepared and it was unexpected. So I don't know. That was just another thing that I was thinking about here. Okay, so here are some questions. Would you rather? Would you rather have a witch bury a hot dog on your property, or sacrifice your favorite pair of shoes to guarantee perfect weather? I would absolutely not sacrifice my favorite shoes. I would let a witch come and bury a hot dog. That's easy. Okay, 2. Lose all your childhood photos or all your concert photos. This one's easy as well. I would rather lose all my concert photos. I feel like concert photos can live in your heart and mind, and childhood photos are like something that you don't always have memories of, and you can't go back and look like a child again. So it's fun to have those memories of you as a child during those like pivotal moments. So losing the childhood photos was pretty upsetting. I didn't lose them all, by the way. These are just, shout out to my parents who forced me to take boxes of my belongings one time when I was at their house, and then instead of putting it in a plastic tub, which lesson learned since then, I stuffed these boxes into the crawl space. And so yes, it is partially my fault, but I partially blame my parents for making me take these boxes instead of keeping them safe at their house. But there are still photos of me in my childhood, just not my yearbooks. And I was a scrapbooker as a teenager, so lots of my scrapbooks that I made are destroyed as well. Okay, would you rather be the shortest person at a standing concert or the tallest? I I'd probably rather be the shortest and then be like lifted up or something, because I feel like people are mean to the tallest person. I don't know. That's a tough one. But if I was a man, I'd probably say the tallest because men like being tall. Okay. Would you rather have your basement flood or have your roof leak during a dinner party? I would rather my roof leak because you can patch that and put a bucket under it. Fun fact though, my roof does have a hole in it. So in addition to our basement reconstruction, we are also in the middle of paying for an entire new roof on our home. So, I will be selling feet pictures after this. Just kidding, kind of, maybe. Okay. Would you rather know exactly when the next disaster will happen or never know but always have perfect weather? Wait, what? Know exactly when the next disaster will happen or never know but always have perfect weather? Oh, like a disaster that's not weather related, I guess it means. I guess I'd want to know so I can be prepared for it. Yeah. I don't need perfect weather all the time. I'm okay with rainy days, especially if you get to stay home and be cozy. That's the best kind of day. Rainy days are good, just not when you're trying to have an outdoor party. But when you could stay in, read a book, cuddle with your dogs, who are still licking their paws, by the way. Ew. Polly, ew. The people think you're gross. She's really cute, though. I'll have to send some pictures of her on our Instagram page. She's very cute. She just makes really loud licking noises. All right. I tried to keep this quick since it's just me chatting here. I'm going to get some guests lined up so that you can hear some other voices on Ew. I appreciate you joining me, and I look forward to doing some more frequent podcast updates. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me at Ew.
Ew!
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 Ew!